I'm Candy Wallace, founder and executive director of the American Personal and Private Chef Association. Today we've been demonstrating some of our personal chef clients' favorite comfort food recipes. Right now, since I've taken several of the entrees out of the oven, I'm going to show you some techniques to successfully and safely cool food that's going to be packaged and stored for enjoyment in the future. The first thing you want to do is get some quarter sheets. This is a quarter sheet, and this is a half sheet pan. In order to cool food safely and quickly, you're going to want to put these in your freezer. If you have a freezer out in your garage or the basement, keep 3 or 4 of these in there at all times so that you can use them to cool food. These have been placed in the freezer for over an hour and they're nice and chilly. What I'm going to do is take this quarter sheet pan and set it right here. I have a dish that I've just taken out of the oven. It's the chicken in jalapeno, orange, and mustard sauce, and it's quite hot. So I'm going to take the chicken out of the pan, place it into this iced down quarter sheet, and let them sit. This is going to cool this food very, very, very quickly. And you'll notice that I've placed the quarter sheet on top of a rack. That means that it gets the cold tray off the counter so that air can circulate around it. If the air is circulating around it, it can cool the food much, much faster. Now, as soon as this food is cooled down, I can place it into the storage container I'm going to use to store the food, and I can put it into the refrigerator safely. What you do not want to do is you do not want to place hot food into a refrigerator or a freezer. That's how you get into trouble with foodborne illnesses, because in the warmed up temperature, all those little microbes and germs get to hold hands and dance and have a great party, and they have that great party on your food. So by cooling it quickly in chilled trays with air circulating around it prior to placing it in the storage containers, when you put this food into the refrigerator, it's at an absolutely safe temperature. Now that we've successfully cooled this beautiful food, let's package it, and I can share some safe food storage techniques with you. The first thing I'm going to work with is the blanched and shocked asparagus that's going to be sautéed later on at dinner this evening. I'm going to just simply store it wrapped in a towel in a freezer bag. So tonight, my client can pull out his sauté pan and a little butter or a little olive oil and enjoy the asparagus exactly the way that he likes it. I pre-packaged the beautiful vegetable bowl peppers. You can see how they store beautifully. This is actually a container that is freezer safe, and it is also safe in a conventional oven or a microwave. So I like these because the client can take them out of the freezer, defrost them overnight in their refrigerator, and then they can heat it in the appliance that they choose to use that day. These are airtight. But what I'm going to do to make sure that it stays beautiful and crisp is that you can see that there are air pockets in the container, that the food doesn't completely fill the container. So I'm going to take some plastic wrap and cover the food. We're going to put this right down on the food to make sure that the air can't touch it. And if it's stored in the freezer, it means that there will not be any ice crystals that are formed in the empty spots in the container that can harm this beautiful food. So this will never experience freezer burn or condensation. Here's our beautiful chicken dish that's been cooled successfully. We're going to put this into a container that is actually service for 2. And I'm going to pour the sauce right over it so that it nestles into the sauce. Oh, that is so pretty. Once again, I'm going to cover this food with plastic wrap to ensure that it does not get affected by any moisture or any air. I leave this out because it gives me, my family, and all of my clients a clue that I've placed plastic wrap on top of the food to protect it. That way they won't just pick up the container and pop it into a microwave. I would get some unfortunate results if that were the case. Now what I'm going to do is store these wonderful apple meatloaf mini muffins. And the way that I like to do this is I like to store them individually in aluminum foil. And that way, if someone wants to take one out and have a meatloaf sandwich or a snack, a quick snack, they have but to take this out of a container. Now I'm going to wrap all of them individually, and I'm going to store them all once again in a freezer bag. And they can be enjoyed at the family's leisure. The kids can come home from school, and if they want a snack or they have an early activity, they're going to be going out, they can take one of the meatloaf muffins out, defrost it, and enjoy it so that they're eating good food and staying healthy.